is affiliated with Richmond Public Schools. I know it's always been some type of negative stereotype when it comes down to IPS, and I just thought it would be a good idea to bring somebody who is was in the educational field in Richmond Public Schools, and also is affiliated with a lot of good nonprofit programs in the city of Richmond. So, Deron, thank you for coming on, and
Thanks for having me, Lex.
you have the floor. Let us know who you are, what you're doing, um, so the people can know.
All right, I'm Deron. Born and raised in Churchill. Uh, been around forever. Went to Mosby, went to Armstrong. Forever a Wildcat in that aspect. Went off to school for a little bit and just decided I needed to pour back into basically the people that raised me, the people that helped me become who I am. So I took criminal justice route. That was cool, but not as impactful. So while there, I went back to get a master's degree and decided to teach for a few. And now I'm a family liaison in the city, not so much in the classroom, uh, student based, but more parental based to try to troubleshoot some of the issues with the parents more so than our babies. That's found in our schools.
So you just talked about being in the hood in the church here. I know like some of them environments are not ideal environments to grow up in, some depending on where you at. So what led you to going to college? Like I know college is not something that's when you come from the hood and you around, you don't really think about college as
Yeah.
much as unless you on a sports scholarship and you might get a college. So what led you to go to college and
Um. So first off, I did play ball all throughout. That's most people probably know me from ball, but so that's kind of what I bit the college bug from that because that's why you play ball as a kid, is to get a scholarship. And I was also on a program at Mosby Middle. It was called Avid, and that kind of prepared you for school after high school or whatever. So we would go on college visits and kind of just go to Virginia State or go to Virginia Union and kind of see what it was about or whatever. I actually didn't go to college right after high school because I was still in my like travel ball circuit for baseball. I was still young enough to play, so I was still trying to gather offers or whatever from that. So I took a year off, worked. That was just in a way. It's not enough money for all you doing blue collar stuff. So I worked at the city changing police car tires and oil and stuff. That shit was just in a way. So um, it was an older guy named Eugene. He kind of like bet me or kind of like cut me off until I got in school because he realized I had a potential to reach. And he told me he wasn't gonna talk to me until I got in school. So I got in school basically so he could kick it with me again. Rest in peace, Eugene too. So I did that, and I went to Bryan and Stratton College, criminal justice major. So I got an associate's degree first. Um, Really, just because I mean I'm in it now, I may as well just finish the journal or whatever. So it was cool. It was just school, reading and writing, stuff you have been doing your whole life. And then I had another guy named Ray Grady, little cat from Chicago, like slick talking, like car salesman type vibe, right? So he was just like, man, you need to go back because if not, what you gonna do with the associates? So I look on Indeed or whatever at the time, and it's like, bro, ain't nothing out here for you if you just got an associate. So I went and got a bachelor's and finished that. And that's kind of how I bit the bug of school. I knew that coming in the hood you it ain't no secret that ain't nothing around. Like ain't shit popping in the hood, especially in my area, like close to the Mosby, Luxfield area, ain't shit going on. So that was kind of my out. I was still like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like I was still in the street a little bit, but I knew that at night, basically, when everything else was really popping, I was in class. So that was kind of like my saving grace.
I mean going from associate that look that's a big deal. I mean even if you not from the hood, doing all that as a young black man, doing all that is awesome. And I don't think a lot of people talk about it enough. Like I don't think a lot of people make it cool. Like I
For
think
sure.
that going to college and going to school, you can still be who you is and just be educated.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a big
So
deal.
yeah, that was, and my friends knew that then. Like, oh, Deron just be on some other shit. Like he always got class, and it's like they see big picture now because it's like, yeah, I'm in a position where I can move how I want to move because I sacrificed that joint early. And there's still some people still trying to make moves, and that's respectable. But for me, I knew that I wasn't a blue collar guy. I didn't want to like super work with my hands or work super hard, or like if I felt like I was smarter than the supervisor, I ain't really want to work for him. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
knew that. And that's just me being authentic. So yeah, that's what motivated me. And then I took maybe 5 years off. I worked at Beaumont Juvenile Correctional Center, and that's basically like that's the hood. That's like Churchill mixed with a little Hillside, mixed with a little
Yeah.
Creighton, mixed with a little
Yeah.
Fulton. So I'll meet kids from Norfolk and meet kids from, believe it or not, Roanoke. Them little kids, a little rowdy out there too. Um, and I would sit in the classroom as an officer though, right? So um, realizing like, dang, the teacher can't get them, but I can get them. I could teach the lesson for the teacher. You know what I'm saying? Still in my uniform though, still with a badge. Still, they look at me like the ops or whatever you want to call it. But it was a respect level there because I talk like them. I was them. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Plus or minus a few convictions or whatever, right? So then I kind of knew like, oh, I need to go continue this. Um, so I got into a master's program at Virginia State. Got into that, and as soon as I got in, I quit. I just walked away from it um, because I knew that like my steps were already ordered to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it was like I don't need to. I fought every day in Beaumont. Like you gonna fight every day. Um, so it was like I quit. Got into the school system at a alternative school, and it was very similar, believe it or not. And I can touch on like that school to prison pipeline thing later, but very similar. So that's how that went. And then once I finished, I taught at the alternative for a year, or like a half a year, and then I ended up at George Mason, which Mosby feeds George Mason. So that was my kid. That was my friend's children, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of all worked out. It all came full circle.
And you can relate, like they can relate to you. Like you
Yeah.
said by the way you talk about it. I went to an alternative school, so I
Yeah.
know I know how it is when
For sure.
you already went to bad school. So it's like I'm gonna be everything you think I'm gonna be because they
Straight
put
up.
me in this school. So I'm gonna give them all the hell I can raise. So
Yeah.
I know if it's one of me, goddamn it, and there's a bazillion other kids in there with that
Two
same mentality.
Brazilian.
That's tough. When then with the old people too, the old people they be wanting to take challenges. Or I ain't gonna say the old people, but it's older teachers. And when I was in the alternative school, older teachers, so it was like them having to throw somebody on the wall or every day to stop them from fighting. I mean, I know it
Yeah.
just I could just imagine things that you witnessed with
Yeah.
the
It was
judges.
taxing. It was taxing, but for me, my lens was I always understood it because I was from it. So like when I even in meetings, there's something that makes sense. For me, it's like theory, and then it's like practice. Theory is what the textbook gonna tell you, right? And then practice is what the hell it really is, right? So I always spoke from a practical sense, where it's like, bro, I don't care what's written, that don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And for the kids, they always rocked with me because I had lived their truth, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I did understand. It wasn't like, oh, I'm acting like this because you don't understand. It's like, no, bro, I do understand, and your action just in the way. So let's
Right.
fix that. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that just helped me, or help me help my job. Make my job a little easier, in transitions.
So when you actually enter into George Mason, it was that something that you being a teacher, was that something that you saw for your future at the moment? Like when
Y-
you actually took on that job?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, typically when you get a professional degree, like a master's degree, my master's degree in special education. So that was something that I thought that I was going to be doing, for the duration. And even if I grew through into other positions or whatever, it would be vastly like around that. So when I went in Mason, I was like, all right, well, maybe not this school, but this is what I'm going to be doing. Um, And I was there for a while. I was there 4 years, and then I just realized, like, while I am impactful, um, it's kind of bigger fish to fry. It's more like the root. I wanted to get to the root um, of issues. Like Nat Turner said, the root, not the branch. So the root of the issue, that's the tree. The root is the tree, right? If
Right.
the root rot, then ain't no damn tree. So I wanted to get away from the branches of the tree and get to the root of the tree, which were the parents. So that's how, I ended up in this role.
So the age group that you was teaching, was it always consistent the whole way, like from the center,
Mm-mm,
or
mm-mm.
what age groups did you specialize in?
So Beaumont was 16 to 20.
Mm,
So you could leave Beaumont at 20 years and 364 days.
mm.
21st birthday, they transferred you to DOC, Department of Corrections, or they sent you home. So that was basically high school, the little, right out of high school age. At the alternative school, that was sixth through eighth grade. And then at Mason, that was K-5. So I basically touched the entire adolescent stage in my time so far.
So which group of which age group do you think um that I ain't gonna say you made the most difference in, but which age group do you think you your presence touched the most?
That's a good question, Lex. I can't really say, man. Honestly, damn, that's a good question. I think at Beaumont, we talked a lot about college. We talked a lot about prom. We talked a lot about homecoming. We talked a lot about um that little girl that they were writing. They hadn't seen her in 2 years. I could be like big brother, uncle, what I'm saying, the big homie type conversation where it's like, hey, it's a whole big world out here,
Yeah,
right? And you kind of just see it in Norfolk, or you kind of just see it in Hillside, but it's a big ass world. Excuse my expression. I don't know if I can curse on here or not,
yeah. I mean, there's
but
all
yeah, it's a big ass world. So I was able to impact them that way. I gave them a project one time, and I had a group of kids that was coming home soon, so I wanted them to pick a job. What see what the salary was. If it was $16 an hour, we're gonna do that times 40 hours. Found an apartment. Oh, I love a Camaro, but right? Or can you afford a Camry? You know what I'm saying? So I got them to find a car, and I'll bring a trading post in. Um, Find a car, and then we'll do it like that. So you'll see like this how much money I have left, just budgeting stuff, and that was impactful for them at the time. Um, and then in middle school, it was more like they were still just finding themselves. I was able to just like center them, ground them, like, hey, bro, it's not fifth grade, and you're not grown. Like they were kind of just in the middle.
yeah,
And with the children, they were just babies. So I was able to just, be daddy a little bit, kind of teach them some of those things that was going to help them not be the kids from Beaumont or not be the kids from real school.
right.
So, and they actually happened backwards like that. Like it was like
Yeah,
Beaumont middle school, elementary school. So it worked itself out.
that's dope. Well, all that recollections that you have, what is some of the biggest rewards um and biggest challenges, you know,
All right.
going from one to the other?
The biggest reward is teaching wise, like academically, is teaching something and you see they get it. It's like a click. It's like, oh, Mr. Battle did say, what I'm saying? That's like that. When I was teaching fourth grade, we went on a field trip down Route 5, like the Verona area, and we actually saw the river stop, like it came to an end, right? And we were talking about just waterways and water systems, and I taught my little black kids, anytime you see a big field of any kind, right? Typically slaves worked it, right? So it may be gazing and but like though that's our land, that's a you know, that's like a promised land for us, right? Like that's really what we did. That's how we, operated for centuries. So riding on the bus, they would say, Mr. Battle, that's a big field. Slaves were there. Like that's our land. So it was like that click. That was like a reward for me. It's like they were listening to me, you know. And I could also teach them reading through I could teach them decoding through the history. Um, and then just teaching them the real history, you know. And most of the downfalls were parents. It
Mhm.
was just like people not understanding that even if you dead broke or poor or shit ain't sweet, education gonna liberate you. You know what I'm saying? It don't, and liberate just mean, it's the come up. Education is legit a come up.
Yeah.
And the more you give to it, um, the more it's gonna work out for you. And that doesn't mean college, right? That could just mean, you know, he don't really read well, but he real good with numbers. All right, so let's go look into, HVAC or plumbing, or some that it's kind of measurements, and it's kind of these formulas that the curriculum say you need to know. But it's something that's also will get you a bag. You
Mhm.
know. So most times when you talk, that was like kind of some of the downfalls. Like, I don't think mama get it. The son don't really know.
Yeah.
He's just a sponge. He gonna take whatever you give him. So if I could get mom on the same page or dad on the same page, that would have been a reward too.
So being that I know you spoke briefly about your other career choice in the Richmond Public Schools, but what do you think? Um, what do you think that some parents could do to help ensure that their child get the best education from RPS? Being that that was one of the things that dealing with the parents kind of like some that you wasn't real fond of, the ones that didn't really understand. So, what do you think is something that the parents could do to be on the same page, like
Yeah,
know what's going on and ensure that their kids is reading up and doing what they're supposed to do.
I think the number one thing is being kind of forgetting your own school experience. That's the that's some of that's what I see the most. Is like when I was in school, or girl, Richmond Public Schools ain't never been blah blah blah, right? And
Yeah.
it's like touche, right? Like, I ain't saying that it was a perfect system for myself either, right? But none of those people that did that to you are around now, right? So it's like, give us a chance. Um, Legitimately, everything that's going to happen that could like help your child is posted, is flyers for it, right? You could sign up for something called RPS Direct. Uh, Jason Cameron, who's the superintendent, is going to send it right to you, like legitimately your cell phone, right? And that's everything you need to know. If you don't want your child to go to Bouchard, then he's going to tell you when open enrollment is, so that they could get into Albert Hill, which in theory is a better school, right? He going to tell you all this stuff. So read the literature. If you can't read it, get somebody to read it, or call the school and say, hey, talk me through this open enrollment thing. And in my current position, there's a liaison at every school in the district. So if you need that troubleshooting, you can call the school and say, hey, I need some help with, whatever. Just today, I was in Wickham, and I told a parent, she was talking about special education. I was telling her what's legal, what's not legal. And I don't care what the people said, we're going to shake the table, and we're going to, this ain't legal, and call me, and I'll do it for you, literally. And everybody in my department will do it for you, So it's just like accept help. I promise you. Um, so that's the biggest thing. Just ask for help, and then be able to receive it, open minded.
Yeah, that's it. I
Hmm.
think a lot of, like you said, I think a lot of people stuck in their experience. Um, all of us is like in around the same age. I'm not gonna say all of us, but us people my age got
Hmm.
kids and that's coming up in school right now, and I think that is um, some of the mentality when they think county versus city is different when it's really not different. Really, I mean, like you said, it's the same situations. It's just some people mentality is different, and I think that once you realize that and you put your kids, I mean, people should be putting their kids first, anyway, but sometimes it's overlooked education wise, especially when you're younger. People don't really take stuff as serious sometimes when kids are younger, and as far as their
Yeah.
work is concerned.
Can I speak to that real quick?
Huh?
The city versus the county thing. Can I speak to that real quick?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So, like, the only thing that's different between like Highland Springs and Churchill is basically the county line. Like, it's all. It's impoverished people in Highland Springs. It's
Mhm.
impoverished people or poor people in Churchill. It's teachers underpaid and overworked in Highland Springs. It's the same thing. Um, Really, the only difference is it's us, right? Like I can't say that the principal at Armstrong um isn't as good as the principal at Highland Springs High School. I just can't say that, right? I know that Dr. Bell does what he needs to do to service the children of Churchill. I know that personally, right? Um, so it's not that Highland Springs. In theory, it's a better school, right? But the reality of it is, it's the same curriculum. So 10 world history is 10 world history. It doesn't matter, you know. So it's like, well, let's give the Armstrong staff the same chance we'll give the Henrico High School staff to see if they can make an impact. And if not, then make the adjustment. Or if not, ask for help or troubleshoot it a certain way. But let's not just condemn Richmond Public Schools because Henrico has a band and Armstrong may have 12 kids. It's bigger than that. It's not county better than city, or it's the same thing. If you live in poverty, you live in poverty. And
Yeah,
and the one, I
exactly.
mean, that's just what it is. And the one true way you're gonna liberate yourself from that is to take your butt to school. Period. You know. So I just wanted to speak on that because I hear it a lot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave and go to Verona. Like, dog,
yeah,
our, our generation moved to Verona and they got the same principles they had as children right now.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And at Verona, 75, 85% black. Like, the hell is the difference in Armstrong?
yeah.
So that's just my opinion. Though.
I mean, you got your hands in the mix, and it is always that stereotype. Like that's the common stereotype. Oh, you know how the city do, or the
Mm-hmm.
city ain't you. It's always like that
Yeah,
type of excuse when somebody don't like something that the city got going on.
for sure.
So, I hope people really see this and listen to what you're saying because that you not just like you not no old burnt out. Excuse me, I ain't mean to say burnt out, but I'm
No, you can
saying you're
say
not
burnt
no
out.
old. You're not an older person that been in
Yeah,
the system for a long time. I mean the education system for a long time to have a I don't know what's the word for it. They have a demeanor that just can't be changed. It's some people who, you're
mm-hmm.
so old that people can't change the way they think. You're not one of those people because you're still growing up yourself. I
For
mean,
sure.
in the business that you in, everybody that you encounter is still, helping you grow and help your mind to change and form or whatever. So I hope people when they see this, they see somebody who is sincere and realistic about what's going on. Because I mean, you look just like you. I mean, I'm sure people would have probably seen you on the street and would never thought you was a liaison. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they don't.
So
They
I
know
hope that
now, but
just like the children trust you, people when they watch this, they'll trust your opinion and have like a different perspective. That's why I'm doing this as well because I want people to hear versus typing and reading. I people to hear the voice and the passion behind people who do things like this that don't always talk about it.
for sure.
So thank you again because what you said was really it made a lot of sense, and I hope somebody feels the same way. So going into you told me you was the vice president of the Rise Foundation. Tell me
Yeah.
about that.
So the Rise Foundation, partner of mine, he plays professional ball in Europe. Named J3. A bunch of good stuff in hoop or whatever. So he like D. I'm
Hold on, his
trying to
name what?
J3.
Oh, he went to high school.
He did.
And that's why all of us went to high. We always in school together.
Yeah. So we play ball against each other. That's how we met or whatever. He like D. I'm just trying to do something. Man, he know my hands and everything. So he like, let's just try to put something together. So Jay, myself, and another partner of ours, Ariel, kind of just put our heads together and figured out, we would just try to pour it back into the things that we come from. So Rise is resilient, innovative, self love, and evolve. Um, and it's just a nonprofit. We trying first. Our first initiative is just to have a free hoop camp. That's actually coming up on the 24th, so 10 days from now. It's a link attached to it and all of that that I can get to people. Um, so it's 50 kids. Everything's free. Everything's taken care of. Professional hoop trainer that's going to work on, the works. We're going to feed them. And it'll just be fun. And the second initiative will be back to school drive with trying to get 200 children some supplies, just to make sure that they going back proper. The world been closed for basically 2 years. In school terms, it's been 2 years. Especially in RPS. So that's pretty much what it's about. Just trying to pour into those empty cups in the neighborhoods, in the city or the impoverished area, making sure that they have what they need. Um, for in terms of Jay, he's kind of just humble little dude. He don't really want to talk about him being the president himself, and it's kind of his brain and this, that, and the other. But he is, however, a professional basketball player to this day, and that's admirable in and of itself, especially being, from the East End of Richmond, and Highland Springs, and myself kind of being an anomaly or one of one, being able to come from Churchill and have all these accolades in school and 3 degrees in and all that stuff. So we just try to, be a presence to him, be a voice for him, or fill a void if it is one. So yeah, that's the Rise Foundation.
Oh, congratulations. That's super, super dope. And I know it's a lot of things going on. I've noticed a lot of people who was involved in sports when I was growing up. A lot of people that's coming together and doing things for the community and stuff like that. So hopefully, I get a chance to help and be a part. Like I wanna, like all the people, a lot of people, the nonprofits that came on so far, I'm they got a lot of positive things going on as well that I'm trying to um, get people to be a part of that don't take nothing but hour or two out of the day maybe. So um,
Yeah, that's what it's about though. In terms of that sports thing, for me, sports if nothing else taught me discipline. It's
yeah,
just like, stay the course and see it through and whatever else. A lot of our black kids, especially if they grew up how I grew up, and I wasn't particularly poor, but my mom ain't no doctor either. My daddy ain't either, right? So we try to like hit the lottery in terms of like, um, get drafted and do all of this. But like really, you could just win at the game of life and be straight. I
yeah,
promise. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If you win at the game. You just do all the small intangibles. Show up early, stay late if you have to. And just be centered into like, your whatever your body of work is. Like you'll win at the game of life, and it may not be, you may not ever be, Kyrie or James Harden, but you'll be a dope ass individual for whatever your trajectory is. So
yeah,
that's something else that's like, that's what Rise is. That's what it's about.
yeah.
Just evolve a little bit.
So how can people, if somebody want to um, donate or participate or help in the call? I mean, the cause of the program foundation. How can they do that? Like, how can they reach
If
you
you
or
follow us on Instagram, we have an Instagram page, um at underscore Rise Foundation, just straight through. All of everything is there. It's a link there for the website and stuff. I can also send it to you,
yes,
and that way we could just post it or put it out.
yeah,
But that's right now. That's the best way. I feel like every American has Instagram, so that's the number one way. Though we are accepting donations for the back to school drive. If you see that in your heart, to do. If not, we'll figure it out. But if that's something that you want to jump on, then we'll gladly accept it. If you want to volunteer your time, that's something we can discuss too. Um, and that'll be at the Randolph Center in August. I believe it's August 13th, but I'll double check just to make sure. But that'll be something that will be at the Randolph Center. Um, just try to have it as engaging as possible, and you come, you get your items, and get a hot dog or get a piece of chicken or fish or whatever, and kick it with us for a minute and go on about your Saturday. So,
hmm
but yeah, underscore Rise Foundation. That's how you can find us.
okay. Um, so you told me that you're a mentor, right? So what exactly does it mean to be a mentor?
Um, So when I was at Mason, I got two more partners, and we got into this mentorship thing. Um, and mentor just being present. It's just about being present. It's not like any championed or like super title, right? It's just about here's a kid, boy or girl. They may have a deficit. It could be as big as whatever somebody's life. It's a void that needs to be filled. Um, and then you just learning with them and growing with them and understanding, their needs and wants and being present for them. That's the best way I can describe it. If my cup is empty and you have a half a cup, I need you to pour some of your cup into my cup so that I can have some in my cup. And that's just being present. And I try to give analogies so people can picture it.
Yeah,
Um, but it's a lot of it's a lot of our kids that just need stuff. And sometimes even adults, they don't know what they need. I know I need something, but
yeah,
I don't know what I need. And as you meet them and as you learn them and as you grow with them, you kind of know like, all right, well, maybe she will appreciate, or maybe he will appreciate a haircut, right? So let's go get one. And what's your favorite food, Lexus? Fish and fries. Let's go do that too, right? Or Lex really enjoys art. We have a city full of museums. They free, right? Let's just go see some. It may inspire. You never know what your interaction may be. It may even be just draw, at the library. But it's just about being present and being authentic, genuine, organic, whatever other adjective you want to think of. That just means being real. And typically children they are authentic, so real recognize real, and
yeah.
that's a cultural thing, but that's like
That's
that's what it
that's real.
is. Yeah,
That's for
so
real. That's for
for
real.
sure.
Kids are attracted to energy and feelings,
Mhm.
and you know, it's you would have to wonder sometimes when you encounter a kid and they're scared of somebody, just by seeing them, or because they already can feel, it's something
Yeah.
in that person. I learned like it too because like kids love me. I don't know if it's because of my tattoos. I think sometimes they
It
just
might
look at
be.
me like, oh, she
Yeah.
got so many tattoos, and that's just
Hmm.
I don't know, but
Right.
um, yeah, it's definitely the energy. When my
Yeah,
son was playing,
and kids are sponges.
yeah, they're sponges. Yeah,
Yeah.
like at my son football games, after his football games, all the kids come sit under the table with me, and they and I get ignored sometimes. Like, God damn, y'all go play or whatever. But then at the same time,
Hmm.
I appreciate it. It's like, well, damn, they want to come fuck with me.
Yeah,
They want
yeah,
to come kick.
yeah.
Um,
For sure. You just got to make sure whatever you pour into that sponge is pure and not like
positive, yeah,
saturated like motor oil.
yeah,
Some people just stick their sponge in motor oil. That's why the culture be like that. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
That was
But
a good one. Motor
yeah,
oil. Okay, I
yeah.
like
But
that one. That
if
was
you
a good one.
stick them in some water, man, they're gonna be all right. And when you rinse it
Yeah,
out, that's what
yeah.
it's gonna
Gonna
be.
rinse them out a little
It's gonna
bit.
be poor. It's gonna be
Yeah.
pure. Bro. Yeah.
So, with all that being said, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years when it comes down to this liaison, mentoring,
Mhm.
foundations, nonprofits? Where do you want to see yourself at?
Um. So I actually just got into a doctoral program at Virginia State. So in 3 years, prayerfully, I'll be Dr. Battle and not just, Mr. Battle. So that'll be the first
Oh,
3 years. And then, I don't make plans for 5 years. That's too long, man. I done had a lot of traumas and stuff. So I kind of just try to take it 6 weeks at a time,
yeah.
honestly. Yeah,
My,
so I mean, after the doctor thing, we'll see what's up in terms of rise. I really just want to see it flourish in whatever capacity that is, whether it's bi-weekly or bi-yearly or whatever whatever the community needs. We're trying to do that. And personally, for me personally, in terms of work, so long as I'm needed in that, I'm in it. I'm loyal to it. I really truly adore the people at Churchill though. Like that's the crib for me. You know what I'm saying? So um and they know like whoever listening, if they ever listen, if they call me, I got them. It don't matter what it is. I got them. So if they've ever called me, they'll stamp that, you know. So whatever that looked like, I don't really know. A year ago, I didn't think I would be in this position, to be honest with you. Um, so we'll see. But I know for the next 3 years, I'm trying to be Dr. Battle for sure.
Talk about it. I see it.
Yeah,
There you
for sure.
go. Stamp
Yeah,
it. That's what it's gonna be. That's what
yeah,
it's gonna be, man. Congratulations, man, on everything. Everything. It's amazing. Like I said, to see black men, young black men succeed and do everything they think we ain't gonna do.
for
So
sure.
shout out to you and I need you to tell me I need you to say it loud though, louder, because your voice is kinda low.
Oh,
But
is
I
it?
want you to
Okay,
say,
been so.
tell the people about this basketball that's going on the 24th, so they
Oh
can.
yeah, it's a free camp at the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club um on July 24th, 9 to 2. My partner Scoop Hoops, he trains everybody that hoop in the city. If you anybody in the city, Scoop it needs to train you. Getting kids in school all crazy, so he'll be there doing the training. We're gonna feed you. Uh, we just gonna have a good time. There is a link at Rise Foundation _Rise Foundation. They can check that out there. Register. When the spot's gone, they gone. Sorry, but get it while it's hot. Uh,
All right.
and we'll be there. We'll be there to receive y'all.
I'm gonna make sure I repost all that when I repost these videos. And when I repost this interview, I'm gonna make sure I put that in the caption so they know um what time it is and what you got going on.
For sure.
So I got one more question for you, and that's it.
Okay.
Uh, if you could give somebody some encouraging words that's watching this, what would they be?
Hmm. Um. Shit. I would say, education is the passport. That's the first thing. Um. Education is the passport. See the processes through. It's gonna be bumpy, but you got to see it through. Um. Anyone that's doing anything positive that you admire, they went through some shit to get there, and that's just fucking real. You know what I'm saying? Like I really like that's just fucking real. Anybody, I don't care who it is, they went through some shit to get there. But they seen it through and they benefit from it in whatever capacity that it is. You know, that's just what it is. Stay the course, stay true to self, and that's just that's just what it is.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for taking your time out to do this.
For
I
sure.
don't know how many times people ask you to come on and say your story, but um,
This is my first time doing this.
well, I need people to hear it.
Yeah,
I need
this is my
people
first
to
time
hear
doing this.
um because it's I mean to me it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? I know what the hell church here be like. I know what it's like, and then you over here with mess with them kids where they doing their time and stuff. And you go to that school. That's a lot. And
Yeah,
while you doing this, you getting your education. You know what I'm saying? And
for sure.
that's one thing I wish I would have did. Like I wish I would have seen
Ain't
my
too
college
late.
day through.
Ain't too late, man.
It's not.
We can talk about it offline, but
I ain't trying
I
to. I ain't really. I don't want to do
I tell my nieces and nephews and even my little son, man, chase them wild dreams. Shit
it.
you'll never think you could ever do
Yeah,
in your damn life. That shit possible. I swear to you. Getting a master's degree for me was like, man, what the fuck you talking about?
that's a
You know what
house.
I'm saying? So it's a big deal. So chase
That's
them
a
wild ass
big
dreams.
deal.
You never know. I promise you. So if that's something you want to do. And again, I'm here for you. Like if you want to talk through it, I got you. That's word.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
I might gotta. I
That's
have to
word.
think about it. I don't know. Maybe I will go back to school. We'll see how that play out. But in the meantime,
For sure.
I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be trying to share people's stories and get more notoriety on these nonprofits that's helping this community and these children. And me and you gonna rap because I wanted to do. I wanted to work on a. I mean, I'm trying to work on a back to school drive as well.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. Maybe I can help do something. I don't know. But
Yeah,
in the meantime, if you want to share this, you can go on the page, share it, do whatever you got to do with it. Once this
for
all
sure.
finished, I'm gonna be sending it to you. You're gonna have it. Um, But thank you again. Good luck on everything you got going on.
No doubt, no doubt.
Um, I'm gonna see you around. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
we gonna talk. We gonna rap.
I ain't
Um,
hiding from you. I'll be around.
but
Mhm.
thank you. So, oh, enjoy your vacation. Cause you told me
For
you said go
sure.
on vacation. So enjoy your vacation.
For sure.
Um, I appreciate you. It's a wrap.
Likewise. Likewise. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
All right.